You can't freaking hear me. Oh my god. Yep. Yay, hey, how is everybody? Thanks for coming. Good to have you. Good to have you. Welcome. Sorry for that hiccup there. We are going to be discussing season 2 of Hot Tea, House of the Dragon. I am super excited. I like this episode. Some people are like, I don't know. This is called The Small Folk. All right, this is Occupy. This is Occupy King's Landing episode, okay, essentially. So there is a lot of tea. There's a lot of tea. Hey, no sound. Yes. Sorry, we were muted. We were muted, but that's okay. I'm here now. Hello. All right. Thanks for having us. We're going to jump right in so we don't miss out on all the fun. Hope everybody is well watching this later on. Thanks for tuning in. I appreciate you guys. And let's get right into it. I'm just going to go over some of the points of the episode, maybe not necessarily chronologically, but we're having a discussion here. We're having some fun. I'll throw some things out as they come to mind because it's all, conversation, and this is how we do it here at the small council meeting. This small council meeting is small in particular. So we're going to be chatting and just having a good time discussing the episode and breaking it down. All right, one of the main things that stands out to me in this episode, right, is the trickiness of Rhaenyra and Mysaria. So, last week they discussed, oh, there's more than one ways to fight a war. And, we discovered that that's the gift that they have going on, right? Um, so in King's Landing, the people are starving. You see, they're like, all we have is fish. People are just like, what the hell, man? There's nothing to eat here. Like, we're tired of eating fish and slop, fish and slop. Like, this is not good. What happened to the time of Viserys? At least there was food going on, right? So when that's, all that's being discussed, but eventually, what happens? Um, Rhaenyra, via Mysaria, she has boatloads of food being sent on over the King's Landing, and people are just like, on the shore, they're fishing, they're like, oh man, another freaking fish. And what happens? They see these boats, and then they're flying the Black's flags, and they're like, oh my god, is it true? Is it she? It's food. It's food. It's food, y'all. It is food. We're gonna eat good, and then so eventually we catch up with Hugh Hammer, because we've been seeing throughout the weeks he is suffering greatly. His wife is over it. She wanted to move out of town, but with Aemon's rule that they locked the gates, they couldn't, so they were trapped. And so yeah, they were trapped, and now they're not trapped anymore. They have a lot going on. Hold on one second. Sorry, a little hiccup there. I'm just trying to make sure everything is good. Okay. So yeah. So we have everything good here. All right, making sure that's going on. So yeah. So there was a bunch going on, and eventually they received this food, and the food, makes the people happy. But yeah, you see Hugh Hammer. He's like running around. He's like, oh my god. He punches this guy out. He's like, give me that food. Give me that freaking thing. Like he punches him out after you just seen him like he's rubbing a dog's ear, very kind, very gentle, but no, his family is not doing well, and he's got to do what he's got to do. Um, so he takes that food, right? So the people, now that little part of the plan is working. They're seeing, the people are seeing that, hey, there's some other options. You know, um, there's a part in the episode where you see the small folks speaking, right? They're in the club, and you have the lady that Aemon just dumped, the lady of the night that he dumped, that he just left for dead over there. He was just like dismissed her. She's talking to the folk and just like, things would be better back in the day. And also, I hear these people are having great meals, and they're tired of the BS. And there was escalation in the streets. Things had shit hit the fan. Shit hit the fan. Okay, um, people were over it. There was a part where Alicent and Helena were roaming through the streets, and where they had been coming from the Sept, and like, you got to get out of here. You got to get out of here. This is done. The dragon's got to fly the coop. Okay, um, it's going down outside. It was an insurrection, and woo, they had to clear out. So they're escaping. They're getting out of town, and lo and behold, you got some folk trying to attack them. They said the queen of fishes, and then they throw a freaking tomato. I guess they got enough food that's probably rotten to throw at her. They hit Allison. They call the queen of tomato or queen of fish, and they knock her in the face, and she's like, "Oh crap." And I'm like, I'm wondering how they filmed that. Like, what did they hit her with? Like, she was a champ to take that. I'd be like, you gotta pay me a little extra this episode. Come on, I'm getting knocked in the face here. But so you got that going on, and let's see comments. Yeah, okay, and yeah, Queen of Fish, you said it. So let's put that one. Yep, Queen of Fish. It was a sad state of things for that. Um, and yeah, just change that up for you guys. Um, so she's running, and then she's trying to protect her daughter. Very nice moment for Allison, because we don't often see her as a mom figure, like not very good mother figure at least. And her daughter's in danger, and she like tries to like protect her. Very motherly. Her motherly instincts are finally catching up all these years later. Hey, you know what? We'll take it. But she's like pushed against this dangerous gate, and she like slashes her arm, seemingly, our good nerdy sweaty friends pointed out, that seems like to be in the same place where she slashed Rhaenyra's arm. So it's like things are just coming full circle back to Allison. Um, but in any case, there's like the people, the small folk are just grabbing at her, and they they end up one of the guards, with everything escalating, he slices one of their hands off. He's like, "You're touching our dowager queen! Like, are you freaking insane over here?" So they weren't gonna allow that. So it goes down such as that, and she's like, "Damn, what's going on?" They eventually get into their wagon. It's bulletproof, dragon-proof, night-proof, um, and her and Helena are in there like, "Oh my god." Whew, I could use some ale, like that was rough. That was scary. That was very scary. So they had that going on, and it was very intense. Kudos to the directors. I thought that was a really high intensity scene. Um I thought, we could have got a little, it could have amped up a little bit more. I felt like there was a little something missing. I felt like the intensity could have been a little higher. Well, I think it was meant to be an impactful scene more so. I felt like there was a little something missing. Like they could have built it up a little bit more. I could have felt a little more scared for them because at least I didn't ever feel like, oh no, someone's gonna get really hurt or anything. Um, yeah, Allison is losing everywhere. They didn't give Helena a lot of play. Yeah, I agree. Helena's just been like wandering around. I feel like sometimes in these episodes, a lot of characters, because there are so many, just end up wandering around a little aimlessly or looking like background roles, like guest stars. Like, oh, I just happen to be in this episode, but they still have a presence. Most of these actors are so good that you still feel their presence. So let's see, let's round this up. I just have a few points here. Um, Rainier and Missouri send essential supplies to the starving residents of King's Landing, bending the public's allegiance towards Rhaenyra, right? This act of generosity, demonstrates her keen understanding of political influence and strategy, aiming to win over the people through acts of kindness. Um, how effective is Rhaenyra's tragedy of winning over the people through acts of generosity? Like, do you think this is gonna make this be something that like the people will well, now usurp the usurpers. Like, I wonder, like, are they gonna just like be infiltration from within now, and something's gonna go down? And because they beat up the guards, they were fighting the guards there. So if Rhaenyra ends up marching on King's Landing or whatever, I have no idea what's gonna happen. I haven't read the books. I don't want to know. This is gonna be like 5 seasons, so I want to stay, having fun and watching it with everybody. Um, yeah. So I'm just wondering. I don't know. I don't know what's gonna happen. But I'm curious. I'm curious. This is all getting good, right? So we think about we got some things going on right back at the small council outside of Allison and her drama that she's got going on with with the small folk. Back at the small council meeting, whew, it's getting ugly. There's what's going on? Aemon's there ruling in Aegon's stead, and he's just like he tells his mother that she's dismissed, that she has no place, no longer. You're done here, ma. I'm sorry. You had a good run. The crown owes you a major debt, and by debt, I don't mean financially. I just mean goodbye. But she says he tells her. Eamon tells Allison, you'll be free to attend to more domestic duties. Why don't you scrub that red keep or something? I don't know, lady. She's never been much of a mother. What can he do? He doesn't feel sorry for her, not at all. So, yeah. And Allison, you could see she's a little bit messed up. First, her other son, Aegon, now the king that is now burnt, he he dismissed her father, dismissed grandpa, the grandsire. He got him out of here, and now the new one's kicking me out. When I ran this, when I got all of you into place, pretty much, like, these guys are freaking chumps. You guys are suckers. And Allison says, "Have the indignities of your childhood not yet sufficiently been avenged? Like, for real? You have to slap the crap out. She is not happy. She's not happy. I think of that line from Much Ado About Nothing. Oh, that I were a man, I would eat your heart in the marketplace. I feel some of those vibes going on. So Allison is dismissed, and you see Eamon, he's getting his strategies, he's getting his strategies going, and he is angered by. Wait, before we even get there. Okay, so guided by Lara Strong's advice, okay, Aemon decides to summon his grandsire, Otto Hightower, and by Otto Hightower, and not even by his advice. I felt like Laris is trying to push himself in there, and and Eamon's like, look, I don't fucking suffer lick spittles, all right? Like, I know what the hell you're up to. You want to take the power for yourself. You think you're gonna be the hand? No, you're like a foot fetish freak. So it's not gonna happen, bruh. So what you're gonna do? Actually, send a raven for my grandsire. He'll be back. He's, if anything, at least he's nothing like you, who kills people, kills your own family. He's at least loyal. So it seems like Aemon kind of knows what's going on, how Laris cannot be trusted. Um, and uh, he dismisses his mother from the small council. He asserts his independence from his familial influence. Aemon's actions, I think, is just like, shows determination to establish his authority and navigate the political landscape in his own way. He's got his own ideas, as opposed to Aegon, who was like, they don't care what I think. And Allison's like, what would you possibly think? Like, what do you think? Think? That's ghetto. Who does that? Not you. At least nobody cares if you do. So, yeah. Whereas Otto? Otto is with Darion. Allison's other son. At least that's where he was supposed to be heading. And we'll talk about that a little later after we finish discussing the plans that they got, right? So Aemon, he ends up commanding Sir Criston Cole to march on Harrenhal, right? And directs the Lord of Castle Rock, to join them from the west. Um, yeah. His strategic orders reveal his frustrating with being undermined and his resolve to demonstrate his authority with the and military acumen. Yeah, he's like, fuck this. Um, Tell your brother, okay? This is not gonna go down, Mr. Lannister. There's a lot of twins on this show, right? Um, they just Aemon decides that look, there's gonna be a alliance with the Triarchy. That's what makes Allison like, what are you talking about? That was the first thing that she started doubting him during that council meeting that made him dismiss her. Um, so they were talking about plotting something with the Triarchy to weaken the Sea Snake's blockade of Blackwater Bay. Um, Eamon's thinking, but I don't know how smartly he's thinking. And yeah, so yeah, Jason Lannister was trying to summon uh, Aemon to come with Vagar. He said that's when we'll continue on to Harrenhal. Sorry for the confusing jargon I was talking earlier, but you know when he was trying to say, "Look, I'll do this when Aemon comes," and Aemon's all pissed. He's like, "What? You can't summon me like a dog to heal." Tell him he'll do it, otherwise I'll be there with Vagar and I'm gonna be burning him to a crisp himself. You know, essentially. Um, so yeah, we got all that going on, all that going on. Aegon, we catch up with Aegon, the king who was burnt. He is burnt, and he is just he's there being the Meisters say he's asleep for 9 hours out of every 10, something a line straight out of the books, and he's not doing well. He's like still got his leg up, and he's like half burnt, and half his face is gone. It seems like all these Targaryens there, they are just like all losing an eye or something to do. I wonder if Damon's gonna lose an eye or some part of his face, since we got Viserys lost an eye, essentially started deteriorating out the side, and then we had Aemon lost his eye, and now Aegon is like burnt from one side. Um, so Aemon goes to see Aegon, and he's like, has that little ball from the small council meeting, and he's like pressing it into his wound, and he's like, "Hey, how are you? You doing good there, little buddy? Huh? Huh? Huh?" And Aegon is like, I don't remember anything. I don't remember anything. I don't remember anything." And he's like, "No, no." Aegon's like, "That was very stupid of you. That was very stupid of you to go after Melise like that, little buddy. It was such a stupid move. You're making stupid moves." And all the while pressing that little freaking ball into his stomach. And it's like, listen, I think it's kind of like letting him know, like, this is from that table. You don't want to be at that table, buddy. This is about as close as you're going to get to it, and it's going to be painful. Right. One eye rulers. Yep. So it's a bunch of craziness. So Aegon is being threatened by Aemon, and all of a sudden, he's steps away, and we got Laris. Laris eventually comes to see Mr. Aegon himself, and he's like, "Hey, I'm a differently abled person myself. I was called Clubfoot. I had this foot since the day I was born, and people will look at you and they will think of you as a creepo, and they'll pity you. But he says, most importantly, they'll underestimate you." And he starts hinting that he'll help Aegon, you know, get the crown back from Aegon, from Aemon rather. He'll help Aegon get the crown back, the power at least from Aemon. And it's like, ooh, okay, Laris. Laris is just so juicy. He just brings the drama that we need, right? Like, I'm like anytime Laris is on the screen, I'm like, that little piece of crap. He's horrible, but I love him. He brings the spice that we need. I hope they don't kill him off anytime soon. um, so he's gonna be there helping Aegon, and he's relating to him with his handicap, his differently abledness. And he mentioned that when he was born, they thought it must have been some kind of work of magic, a Malice that did this to his foot. And I'm like, I wonder how far Alice Rivers goes back. Was she punishing him? Like, did someone foresee what he would be about and did this? Would he have been different if his foot wasn't like that? I don't know. I tend to think a little piece of crap is always going to be a little piece of crap. I don't know. I don't know. I feel like, I mean, for the sake of this show, his evilness, the drama he brings to the show, it seems like we needed him to turn out like this, right? Um, so he stops. I do want to mention he stops Aegon from taking that milk of the poppy, and he's like, "Look, you take this, it numbs the pain, but it makes you weak, makes you very weak and sleepy, and nobody wants. Well, you don't want to be like that, do you? Do you want that? No, you don't want to be sleepy and all messed up. Definitely an interesting character, very sneaky." Very sneaky. He might be helping Aegon, or maybe he's just getting in his head to prove something to Aemon. We shall see. Huh. Yeah, you never know. Maybe he's gonna play Aegon up and then make Aemon like then betray him at the same time, or like say, well, he's plotting. It's always that drama, right? Oh, I heard that he's actually plotting on you, so maybe you should be careful, Aegon. You know I love you, Aegon. So oh yeah, so whatever. Yeah, he's very little sneaky one, that little creep, that Laris. But as the Warriors, they head over. Isn't that isn't he the uncle of Rhaenyra's sons? Who? No. Oh, I guess technically he's the uncle, right? Since she was sleeping with his brother that he killed. He has no loyalty. He has no loyalty to his brother, his father, definitely not to those bastards, you know? He's a jerk, that Laris. That's why we love him. Um, and yeah, so as the men head off to war, Allison bids Sir Kristen Cole farewell as he prepares for his journey, reflecting on her youngest son Daron with her brother Sir Gawain Hightower. Their conversation about Daron's character, shows that Allison, because he wasn't mentioned in the show um, last season, really. Um, but Allison does care. Maybe it was a little out of sight of the mind, but I think she couldn't really get her head above water. She was doing so much. She was on the council, and her father had so much pressure on her, and her husband deteriorated. All she knows, her son is gone, and maybe she's dealing with so much, and her sons are little pieces of crap, um, and they're evil at home, and maybe she didn't even want to know, like, but she does ask Wayne, like, can you tell me about him? And he does break it down, like, he's valiant, he's good with the sword, and good with the ladies, and most of all, he's kind, and that seems to make Allison the most proud that he's kind. Yeah, they are strongs, allegedly. Ha ha ha. Right. So yeah, this episode's really interesting, right? You see how genetics works differently in different siblings. When Rhaenyra's kids, they have brown hair like their dad, even though she has white hair. And then in Corliss's kids, one brother has black hair, and then the other brother has white hair that he's there trying to shave, to hide any possibility that anyone might recognize that he's, you know, possible Targaryen bastard. He doesn't want anybody noticing that. That's another strategy I'm sure that will pay off. He's over there wearing a head wrap. You see him there shaving, looking into a plate because he's poor. They don't got mirrors over there, okay? No mirrors over there. Um, with all that going on, yeah, so Allison is saying she's bidding farewell. And you can see, like, Kristen Cole in the background where he one time would have been all about Allison, like watching every single move she does. She's there looking over him, and he's just like, I'm doing my own thing, okay? Not worry about you. One time I would have been, but it just ain't working, Queen, whatever your grace. Since she wanted to play with him, talking about, I didn't give you permission to speak my name. And, every guy has a little self respect eventually. and he's just like, forget you. And she's a little sad. Oh, she's like, babe, don't you miss me? And he's like, ah. um, in the source material, they both have silver hair, but I like the way the show is handling it. Yes, I've heard that. I think that's really interesting. I appreciate the way the show's handling it. I think it leaves, not only tries to bring it into the real world, but I think, I'm sure it helps with the plot elements. And this gives these characters things to do, right? As actors, you always want something to do. His dark hair, the dark hair one is the one the dragon claims. Yes, we are getting there, right? Who is that? Alan or is it Adam? Ends up taking sea smoke. That was pretty interesting. It's like, let's get back into that. Before we get to Damon, we know Rhaenyra back at Dragonstone in the beginning episode. She's there from last week. They were plotting. They were talking about. You see her small council that Corlys has joined, and you see they are talking about. Well, how about we get some new dragon riders? They're like, no, like who? Who would do this? It's always been just Targaryen. She's like, listen, I think it'll work. Like, listen to me. I'm the queen. Hello, I'm speaking now. Given very Kamala, I'm speaking now. Allow me to finish. And this is what's gonna happen. We're gonna try this. I have a very I think it's a great idea. And she says this, and they get Sir Stefan, and he's very noble, and he's like, I will do it for you, my queen. I'm willing to try anything for you. And she's like, anything? All right, good. This is gonna work. I'm telling you, this is gonna work. I have the highest faith. You have to be prepared for death. Did you read that little clause there? Prepare for death. But the risk, you gotta have high risk and high rewards. He says, yes, I'm prepared for anything, my queen. Excellent. We'll be right with you. So then, she's walking through the castle, and this fucking jerk, I forget his name right now. I'm so forgive me. He dares question her. He's talking about how she's pretty much calling her emotional. She's just, shut the fuck up. And she slaps the dog shit out of him. She's fucking tired of it. She's fucking tired of it, man. She's done. She slaps him. I wish she would have just did a couple more slaps in there, but she kept her pimp hand strong and she knocked him one good one and sigue jodiendo, like don't mess around. And so the crab lord crab. Yeah, he is a fucking crab. He's a fucking Krabby Patty. She threw a Krabby Patty right in his face, that sucker. Um, and I remember her son questions him. Her son questions him like, "What did he do to deserve that?" And she's like, "Look, I wonder if maybe I've been doing things wrong around here. I have to just slap somebody every once in a while." I loved it. To slap her around the castle, right? Respect, respeta, they say. Okay, respect. Put some respect on my name before I slap everybody. I was saying she's gonna do. There's a funny scene and not to go way off subject, but in RuPaul's Drag Race, RuPaul does a sketch where he slaps every single person on the set, and it reminded me of that. Like Rhaenyra is gonna do that. Everybody who walks up there is gonna get slapped. Um, Her line there, I think it's my fault. You've forgotten to fear me. Ah, yeah, a good one. Thanks for pointing that out, Mr. Stephen Joseph. That was a fun one. Yeah, that was fierce. It's like, yeah, I think you've forgotten to fear me. Is that my? I guess it's my fault that you've forgotten to fear me. Slap the shit out you. You understand me? I'm the queen, not the queen who never was. I am the queen. You forget yourself. So yeah, it was very intense. That was the best line of the show. Yeah, that was I agree. They had it's very crazy. Um Whew. So all that's going on that side, right? And we'll get back to what happens with Sir Stefan. But we do catch up with Damon back at Harrenhal, and he's got his like these visions going on. Just continue. Like this season is just like a fucking like D- Damon's Damon's Midsummer Night Dream over here. Like I wouldn't be surprised they have a musical moment in the next week's episode because they got this episode they got Mr. Patty Constantine back to play Viserys, and he's Damon is reliving the moment where he was summoned, and in this version is very different, right? In the original version, Viserys is very angry because he was asking Daemon, like, "Is it true? Did you call him the king for the day, king for a day?" And he's like, he was very angry. But in this version, um, he's like very like sad as he's saying all these lines, right? Like he's delivering it very sad, and it's, I think this is probably um, Damon's biggest moment of regret as he reflects back on his life. His brother necessarily never really did so bad by him, and he just was like, he's just a piece of crap. He's not a kind person for everything. Like, and he says, you you I gave, I tried everything. I was the only person who ever stood up for you, and you disrespect me like this. And it just made him so sad. My guess was wrong about Alice Rivers. She's not a ghost. Yeah, they were. A lot of channels are discussing how people were having that theory that Alice Rivers is a ghost. That she's a ghost. But no, she's not. They proved with this episode, um, that she's not, because they do mention when he's talking to her, um, David and Brett. We'll get into it. Let's move. We're gonna talk about that right now. We'll finish this up about his haunting vision from Viserys. And he just kind of like, it's almost like, why? And Damon can't like escape the room. Like he goes to leave and he can't escape this time. Not like in real life when he just left and disappeared. No, he just he's stuck. He's stuck in that moment, and that he's trapped in that like sadness. Like that's when he was named, he had a new heir and it wasn't going to be him, and it was really sad. I think Damon, he has a frustrated relationship with everybody, but I wonder if that's going to inform any decisions he makes on maybe having more of a tighter allegiance to Viserys's daughter, Damon's wife, his niece, Rhaenyra. Aemon is just like Damon. I don't know. I can see some elements. I think it's more hurtful. I don't know. I guess I wouldn't necessarily know because I haven't experienced this, but it's a different kind of hurt where Damon never knew his mother, um, because she wasn't around because she was dead. But Aemon has been surrounded by his mother his whole life essentially, but she was always cold and she's not such a great mother, and it's kind of like having it almost there. I think that's what makes him so pissed off that he's able to like coldly remove her from the small council. And like when she's touching his face, he's like, "Get the hell off of me, biatch. I'm good. Go do your, go wash some dishes. Essentially, get back in the kitchen. You never was much for one of those women in the kitchen, and why don't you do some domestic stuff now?" So yeah, they are messed up. They are messed up. Like a bad dream that he can't wake up from. Exactly. Yeah. And Alice Rivers, I wonder if it's just the weirwood tree curse that's from on Harrenhal, or if Alice Rivers is, as Damon suggests, we'll get into it. Possibly being poisoned. It was amazing to see the return of Patty. Patty, he was amazing. He brought such a specific energy to the show. Yeah, right. I feel like he had a grandiose energy. Him and Otto, I feel like, are definitely missing from the show. Like you could feel their presence missing. Very much like Buffy when they lost Giles, Anthony Stewart Head. And you have these older guys that are just like they've been around. They bring that experience, their presence, and it does make a difference. Allison totally ignored him. Right, Allison was a cold mother, and she learned from her father. Her father wasn't very loving. All he did was command her to marry Viserys that she didn't want to do. And yeah, so I think Damon and Aemon, they are similar, but they have different pains, similar pains though. It was amazing. Every time he brought so much to the show. Yep, he definitely did bring so much to the show, and he brought so much to this episode. I think it was definitely a highlight of the season. Some of these callbacks with Millie playing young Rhaenyra, that was cool to see. And then we had now we have Patty back, and then the woman who played Damon's wife being back. It was good, to have all these people. It's fun. It's different when you have all this magic and all this going on. Alice Rivers is giving Red Witch energy. I want to see more of her. Oh yeah, we got to see. I'm not done with Alice Rivers. I'm loving her. Her and Miss Area are definitely some of the most fun characters on the show. Um, let's see. How Damon's visions of Viserys influence his actions in Harrenhal. I feel like I don't know. Is he ever gonna get this place cleaned up? He talked about he was gonna do it himself. I haven't. I don't remember them mentioning in the episode like, "Oh, we're finally cleaning up in the basement where all that bat poo was," or anything. He used to get a mop out and do it himself. He was chopping that wood instead of chopping wood that he was bleeding from his hand. Maybe he used to go mop up some stuff. I don't know if it's below him or not. But he snaps out of his vision, of course, and then you got Sir Simon Strong there, and Damon's like, maybe you're the one doing this to me, huh? You're poisoning me. Um, he's like definitely growing his paranoia. He's like desperate to uncover like what the hell is going on. Um, and the tension is just rising at Harrenhal. All these people are like, this guy is losing it. Um, and eventually they're like, maybe you're not sleeping, and because like his bags are just out. He's looking like crazy, crazy. Between the Red Witch and Missaria, they are rocking the boats, right? Yeah, Alice Rivers and Missaria are definitely some of the more intriguing characters. It's like every setting has something different go someone really creepy moving some things, their own master of whispers going on, Notice how the white worm is dressing more like a Targaryen, even the braid in her hair now. Right, we're gonna get to Missaria, Miss White Worm, her and her the deepening connections soon enough. But yeah, covering finishing the Harrenhal section, we had Alice Rivers, and she offered some profound advice, suggesting that he did not seek power. That might not be best for him to hold on to. Um, Her wisdom and calm demeanor contrast sharply with Damon's fiery ambition. Providing a moment of introspection for him, and I could see like he was taking it all in, and she's like there like Pocahontas with a wildling with an owl being summoned to her, and she's literally like bringing death because Sir Simon Strong eventually mentions that, oh yeah, our very own Alice Rivers, the the night doctor, she was trying to attend to this dude and he died. Was it the Tully? So he died, and it's like, she's helping out, isn't she? Very interesting, very interesting. She's helping the pieces move on the board, even though she tells Damon, like, you're just a piece on the board. Back to like, I think it was Daenerys's line about like, this is just spokes on a wheel, right? Turning over and over and over is very much that with that line. All of a sudden the old guy died. Right. All of a sudden. He was 98. Now all of a sudden he's dying. He was fine. He was fine. um yeah. So Damon just smirked. Yeah, Damon knew what was going on. He's like, thanks, Miss Alice Rivers. I must pay you back for this. And I know it's very different. And I think that pretty much wraps up what's going on with Damon. Let's see. Alice advises Damon on the difficulties of uniting of the River Lords without Lord Tully's support, emphasizing that the fractured nature of their loyalties, her insight in the political landscape, underscores the challenges Damon faces in rallying support. Yeah, so there's a lot going on there. Like, Damon needs to get it together. He has a lot to do. He's just like slacking. He's like asleep. So I wonder if he's gonna start breaking out of these spells. If it's Alice's influence, if she's gonna allow him to come out of it. Is it her? Like, what's going on? Is he sleep deprived? Is he is just losing it from the magic of the cursed Harrenhal? Um, I guess we'll discover. We have a few more, two more episodes left. Um, so figure it out. Yeah. So, that was so cool. We didn't discuss about how Reina is there talking to Lady Aaron about a large dragon that she discovers must be living in the Vale, right? She's like walking around and she's there bitching to the little boy, to the little to Rainier, little Rainier's son, and she's there like such a teenager, like, and yeah, this is totally sucks being here. You'll learn about this when you get old. That life isn't just so fun, you know. Like you gotta just do what you gotta do, and these adults suck. And then she's like, "Oh my god, the place is burned. Like, what's going on here?" And she's like, "You didn't tell me." She tells Lady Aaron, like, "You didn't tell me that this was going on here. Like, there's a dragon. I didn't know this. I could have been burned alive. Like, you got me walking around like a fool, honey." And Lady Aaron's just like, "Oh, did I forget to mention that? Oh, I guess it's something I guess you should be a little worried about." It's like, what the hell? Um, so we'll see. Maybe that's gonna be Reina's dragon. They're changing up so much in this show. I know they have that little baby dragon running around. That was so cute. That was so cute. I love that. They had the baby dragon there, and Lady Aaron's like, look, pretty much they're prepared. I think it was someone from season one that they mentioned. Was prepared pretty much to hold her, to allow her into the to stay with the boys. So there's a lot going on with that. And yeah, and as we wrap up, we had Mizaria and Rhaenyra discussing how, the gifts are received, and I think the people will come around, and there was that, and there was a shared kiss, and that was a very interesting. Um, so that went on, right? And Mazaria even was like, she saw that would be Bela's dragon. Yeah, I don't know who the hell's dragon. I don't know who's getting what. Um, right, Bela. I'm sorry. Yeah, Reina's the one who already has a dragon. So Lady Rhaenyra's character is taking an interesting turn. I think, like you said, she'll claim sheep stealer, which is such a departure from the source material, but interesting indeed. Yeah, I'm with it. I'm here for some of these changes. Why not, right? Otherwise, the fans at home who know the books won't have anything to look forward to that might be surprising because it'll be so close. I hear that the character Nettles, um, it seems like they're not going to introduce them, so it's just going to be a lot of their storylines are going to be passed to, I guess, between Reina and Bela. So we'll see how that works out. And yeah, so haha. So Mazaria sees Rhaenyra with that sword, and she's like, "That sword looks good in your hand, honey." And I'm like, "Yes, Rhaenyra. Like, where is your fucking training session? We live for that in the sci-fi world. The ladies, like, let's get your Xena Buffy moment on, Rhaenyra. Like, that's what we want to see. We want to see that. Am I alone? I don't think I'm alone. We want to see this tough chick, like, handle a sword fight some people. Like that would be so badass. I would love that. Anyway, besides that and their kiss and Rhaenyra's braids in her hair becoming more intricate, kind of mirroring like what we saw in Game of Thrones with Daenerys when her braids and her like when she started off the show, her hair was down. Ooh, 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 I'm just a girl. What can I do? I'm just a girl. No, not anymore. As the show went on into the final season, her braids became more intricate, showing her power. It was like rising within her and stuff. And very similar here with Rhaenyra. And we didn't talk about though how Sir Simon he went to go try to get on that sea smoke and he's like, oh, and they said they're doing their chants, la la la, ooh ooh ooh, Vermithor, like the way Damon did it last season, like ma na na, doing the Valerian and doing the chants, and they all got daggers in their hands. Reina's the one without the dragon. Bela Bela has hers. Okay, right. Thanks for helping. I was like, in these names, I was like, am I right? I don't know. I mix these things up, trying to get my characters down. Um, so yeah, thanks for that. But yeah, so Sir Simon, he's going to go test out the dragon. The younger one taking care of the kids, Reina. Um, yes, Reina's the one taking care of the kids. Yeah, Bela is the older one. Thanks, you guys in the chat. Steven, Luce, Ma, thank you so much. You guys are fab. You guys are fab. So yeah, so he's trying to tame this dragon. They're like, look, whatever you do, don't show any fear. The dragon comes. It's like that was more intense than these small folk rising up um, against at the SEP. Okay, this scene was intense. I was like, oh my god. He's just. I felt like they were just gonna go for that hurt, that chomp. But it was like it was allowing. It looked like it was like bowing its head so that so Simon could get on top. And they're like, yep, just don't show any fear. He's like, all right, don't show any fear. I could do that. Sure. I could do this. And he starts walking super slow, scared, showing fear. It's like, what are you doing? You're showing fear. That's not the way to do it. And you see the guards with their long sticks ready to poke the dragon's head away, and they're holding on to their daggers, and Rhaenyra's like back there with Sarah's, and she's like, all right, let me be a little farther back from this. Like I said, the fine print, it could end up in death. Um, so right, and he's getting closer, inching closer, and bleh, clap, clap. Can someone put a dragon emoji in the chat? Because that dragon, oh my god, that was crazy. That was crazy. It didn't work out so well. That dragon Dracarys, that poor guy, and two of the guards. And he is just being burned alive, filleted, and we see the I believe it was the lady that was there like giving him direction. She just cuts her own throat, and she's like, thank you, Steven. She's just like, "Klah! I'm not gonna be fucking burned to death with this BS." Like, yeah, it was just very much this, and then boop. Yeah, it was very much all that. So let's show this one. Bam. Right, it was dragon, then boop, fire. All right, that's the effects we get here. Yeah, fire. Oh, and there goes the love burned, all that loyalty he had just went up in flames. Um, and yeah, but Rhaenyra's like, damn it, my good idea. It was a good idea, right? And Jacerys is like, yeah, it was great. I had it. I'm the one who thought of it. I think it is a great idea. And she's like, oh, fine, let's get out of here. He's like, yeah, let's get out of here for we're next. And so we get back to the keep, and yeah, so Rhaenyra's there, was kissing Mazari, like, love you, kiss you. And, the guy barges in, hello, not much, what the hell, just barges right in, and he's just like, my queen, you must know, yes, they spotted sea smoke. And they're like, okay, breaking news, tear out the front page. He's like, no, you don't understand, my queen. He had a rider. A rider. Oh my god. And it's like, oh, a rider? Interesting. Well, I must know about this. And bam, badow, boom, pat, ooh. She gets out of there. Rhaenyra is out. She goes, shoo, shoo, shoo. She gets right down to the um so her dragon, she is out. She got no time for this. She don't want to hear nothing about nobody trying to slow her down. Oh, you can't do this. No, none of that. I don't want to hear about, oh, you can't go. I'm out. She gets on her dragon, and that is the final scene that we see. She is out on her dragon, and she's about to go find out what's good. Who's got a dragon? Who are you? Are you with me? Who you with? Like, because that was my gay husband's dragon. So you better have allegiance to me. Don't play, because I will burn you up. I'll burn you up. I slap people. You ain't hear about me? I'm Rhaenyra. Okay? So let's see. The kiss was interesting and such a difference from their first meeting. Right. Okay. When Rhaenyra had to show up, was that when they showed up on the bridge and Damon's talking about, I got a baby, I'm having a baby, and she's like, oh yeah, you having a baby with my uncle? I don't play that. The queen shall be queenie next week. Mm-hmm. Yes, she will. I'm so looking forward to it. Um, let's see. Dragon Seeds. Corliss was on that council. There was so much going on. Let me see if there's anything that I didn't touch on before I let everyone go because it was just nuts. Boo, 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 boo. Let's just dive in deeper. I just want to read this out. Instead of he orders Cole to march from King's Landing and the Lord of Castle Rock to march from the west. The two will converge on Harrenhal and Aemon will join them when the time is ripe. Aemon also instructs the younger Lannister twin to make an alliance with the Triarchy, the pirate alliance between the free cities of Lys, Myr, and Tyrosh in order to weaken Sea Snake's blockade. In the books, it's Otto Hightower who devises the strategy. So it's like they're giving, they're giving Eamon some smarts in this one to try to show that he's got something. Um, tells him Tyrly. Oh yeah, and we didn't point out Allison where she Tyrly, with tears in her eye, tells Aegon like, I'm sorry, Oh, she's sorry. You're sorry. You're sorry. You're sorry. You're sorry. You're sorry. Sorry, my ass. It was very much. I feel like that was. Anybody seen The Craft? That was that. Um, right. What else we got going on? I feel like we talked about it all. Anything in the chat? Any predictions? Let me know. Um, anything that you feel like is coming. Yeah, I feel like we talked about pretty much everything in the episode. Nothing stands out. Um, I do think of after got Aegon got hurt, those guards that were acting like bumbling fools before they sure got it together before they end up dragging food because they're not the white cloaks anymore. Not going to be playing games. Like, you got to act right because Sir Kristen Cole don't play. And I guess Sir Kristen Cole is out, right? He was a hand, and now he's just like, they're like, maybe not so much. We're going to bring back my father. So there went that. My favorite scene was the food delivery to the small folk, cemented Rhaenyra's reign. Reign from a distance, is like, damn, like, oof. Um, but it cemented what it could be. I think she would definitely be a much more fair queen. Um, and yeah, I think some of the things that stood out to me was Allison really realizing how she should never have helped, you know, never should have helped them betray and usurp her best friend, her one-time best friend, because they're just a bunch of chauvinist jerks, and they dismissed her so easily. The Maester knows now what Aemon did. He peeped that creepy behavior when he walked in on them. Right. Oh yeah. And Aemon did tell him, like, it looks like my brother's gonna be out for a while. Right? I think so. Because I run this. And I'd hate for you to mess things up for me. It'd make me very, very angry. He didn't say that, but that's the feeling I got from that. Um, oh my god, yeah, thanks for bringing that up. So sorry about that. There's perhaps anyone could have on Damon Targaryen, season one. Yeah, I think that we covered everything. Yeah, hold the poppy juice. Yep. I think we're good for today. I'm glad to get this episode under an hour. So this is great. This is making it a good. Allison knew she fudged up. Yeah, she did know she fudged up. So yeah, this is I think this was a great episode. I think we discussed everything that needed to be discussed. Um, Please write down below in the comments anything I missed, anything I need to know. Please come back next Wednesday, 10 p.m. We shall discuss all the fun and goodness. Yeah, support, tell your friends to come chat with us. Let's have fun. And yeah, we could have a lot of fun doing this. And I hope to do more shows breaking down other series. I already have my Instagram, Robert Medicado World. You'll see it down there in the little feed, sputtering around. So check me out. I like to talk about pop culture. I'm an actor. I do sketches and things like that. So it'd be so fun to meet with you. I'll follow you back. And what did Stephen Joseph say in the chat? She made the argument that the Black Queen couldn't rule because she's a woman, and now she's got out because she's a woman. Right. Hello. Durr. What is your issue, lady? Like, you freaking. Yes, poetic justice. Truly, Allison, you betrayed women, and it's like there's that special place in hell for women who betray women, and she discovered that place is amongst the living. So, bloop, there that went. Um, I'm hoping we will get a scene. For me, some of the things I'm hoping for this season is to get another scene of Daniel Girl Good Talk. Yep. I'm just hoping to get another scene from my girls, Allison and Rhaenyra, before the season ends. Is that too much to ask for? Like, I don't know. With all these dreams happening, maybe Rhaenyra ends up at Dragonstone or Harrenhal, and she's fancy, or she has a dream talking to Allison. I don't know. I need something to happen. I love those two actresses together. You got to refer to Buffy. That's like Faith and Buffy. If they had a show with Faith and Buffy, and one's over here, one's over there, I want them together in a scene. We need them in a scene. That's just so fun. So yeah, that's one of my hopes for the season. I do want to see the young Allison back. I don't know who's gonna be the one thinking about her. Maybe Sir Kristen Cole's got some dreams to have about his time with her. I think it's not fair for her not to ever come back. She was a big part of the allure of the first season. So yeah. With that being said, y'all, it was good to see you all in Westeros. Watch out for those small folks. They are hungry. They are starving. Um, yeah, I heard there was I'll say some gossip I heard. I heard that George R. R. Martin may not have been happy about some of the things they had going on with the dragon and the veil in relation to I think Reyna's. Like I think some of the fans were talking about on Reddit, and they're like maybe that's why I think they put something like some kind of Easter egg of like GRRW or GRM, you know, somewhere there. They said maybe to make him happy to appease him. So there's some stuff. There's always Easter eggs being thrown in. That's just like, you know, it's beyond, just like the show. Maybe they'll put a Starbucks cup. Yay! LOVE. Yes. So thanks so much for watching. And boop. Oh, oh. I'm on the throne. This will be the picture for the tile card. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you guys. All right. Great episode. Talk to you later. Oh, what is that? Yep, that's right. I hear what's going on too. All right. Have a great night. Bye. Dun, 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 dun. Wait, let me see before I let me see. I gotta work on this. Let's do this. Boom. We're gonna do that. Bam. Okay, a little music, a little something's going on. All right. Hold on. I can't go out with that ear on the thing. All right. Bye, guys. Good night. Thanks for watching Robert Mercado World. Bye.